Louisiana nun found alive nearly 5 months after she was allegedly kidnapped in Africa by the FBI. Maronite Sister Sue Ellen Tennyson was serving a mission at a convent in Yalgo, Burkina Faso, Africa, when at least 10 armed men allegedly carried out an attack and took her captive. Marionette leader Sister Anne Lacour told the outlet that the Sister Sue Ellen was found early Monday and is now safe. However, she said that while she is on American soil, she is not in America yet. We have spoken to her. She eventually will get back to the United States. Sister Anne said of Sister Sue Ellen, adding that the victim had no idea where she was when they talked on the phone. She's totally worn out, Sister Anne added. I told her how much people love her, and she doesn't have anything to worry about. I told her you are alive and safe. That's all that matters. Sister Anne also told NOLA.com that she couldn't share the details on Sister Sue Ellen's recovery to make sure she gets home safely.
Kidnapped nearly 5 months ago from a West African mission site. You may remember we talked about this a lot. The New Orleans Times-Picayune reports that Sister Cillian Tennyson has been found alive and safe and is now in U.S. hands in the capital of Niger. And it's not yet clear how or where the nun was found. In early April, 10 gunmen raided Tennyson's Burkina Faso home and kidnapped the New Orleans native. NBC has reached out to the State Department and the Archdiocese of New Orleans, but has not yet heard back. But the important story is that she is alive,
yes,
and safe.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I was also taking a look at these 40 warm and cozy fall dinner recipes. There's a lot of really nice stuff for the fall season, other than this one. I didn't like that one. I think the feature was there was this pot roast. I'm gonna have a separate video, I think, showing this one by itself as well. But it's 40 recipes that would go good for going into the fall, into winter, and whatever. But mostly fall and all that. You could have them all winter long, actually. 40. Here's that pot roast. There was that pot roast there. This one is this one's for one of those days where you're not in the mood for too much meat. My mom would like that one, the cauliflower curried and all that. Mashed potatoes with gravy with the pot roast. This one is like an onion soup with the bread. Okay. See how you can see the photos here? Unless there's photo or video evidence of anything that's ever being done, then there's no case. You have to actually have something that's being committed of a crime against the law. I never in Canada, it's against the law to utter threats. But in Canada, it's not illegal to say I am a firearm owner. But it's illegal to threaten somebody and say I'm going to hurt you or da 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 da. But if somebody's going across the territory on you and you say I'm a firearm owner, that's not uttering threats. Uttering threats is a direct threat. Whereas I'm a firearm owner is just letting the person know that you are a firearm owner, an illegal one being. Whereas when you're saying you're going to punch somebody out and all that, that is uttering threats, and that was never me. I never have done that. So there's a big mix up where they're accidentally trying to process. They're processing the wrong people. There's the people there that are actually violating the law. And I'm here doing videos. I was at the tattoo shop, and then I was over at Harvey's before then. So I don't know when, but you're gonna have to show. So you're gonna have to show some proof, and you're gonna have to actually show a crime committed. You're gonna have some evidence, some DNA, whatever. You're gonna have to come up with something. You know what I mean? There has to be some substance to it. If there isn't, then it's just not a. Not even a charge. It's not even a case. There isn't even anything there. Person didn't do anything wrong. You can't take somebody to jail for not doing anything, for not actually doing any violating any law. Oh man. Alcohol swigging Russian soldier kills two FSB officers. Drunken shooter. That one's a good one. The Russians are known for being with their alcohol. That's when you know it comes to real warfare. When he is swigging his alcohol because they got pushed. They got pushed. So now the soldier's out there and he's fucking having to deal with shit for real. And he's scared. Just like anybody, if you have to actually put the uniform on, you're scared. Terrified, but he's not because he's drinking the alcohol and he hadn't had alcohol in a while, this guy. And he hadn't, and this alcohol did exactly what it was supposed to do. And there he is. He's standing right there. That could be the exact guy that he shot two of them. FSB officers. That one's a good one. You ain't heard a good Russian one in a while where the Russian guy came out on top. Because I don't got nothing bad on Russia. I don't got nothing bad on the Ukraine either, but or the FSB or whatever it is. But um, there's that Donald Trump Jr. Trump documentary filmmaker says he spent most of the time trying not to laugh while interviewing Don Jr. Yeah, Don Jr. He's a character. I like that other one too. What's his name? Eric. There could be a lot more Eric in the future. He's almost like a Kim Kardashian. That Eric. And Ivanka. Eric and Ivanka are very. They get Eric has a baby face, much like the Ivanka, and then you got that Don Jr. He's a little more rough, and then you got Don. Don Senior. He's just sort of. He's real smooth. He's not as rough as a Don Jr. You never see Don Senior with the beard. Then there's that Ben Malla. He lives in Tampa. He's got a big mansion. He's got the big rough beard. But Don, he don't. But they're all friends. But Don's just a different character. Then you got what's his name? The one that, believe it or not, he's going to be old as heck before you know it. He'll be as old as Eric was. The Baron, yeah, Baron. He'll be old. He'll be getting old. Raymond J.D. Souza. What would be a good thing for Baron to go with? He's a big fan of that Ben Malla. That's what I know. I was on that live stream with Ben Malla, and they were. I was renowned to see. They commented on the. Well, no, they were fans of Ben Malla. I think they left a monetary donation on Malla, and Malla couldn't believe it at the time. I think they had just gotten out of the White House, and I said, "This can't be the real Barron and Donald on but it was. They live in they both have multi-million-dollar mansions down there in Florida. And they were on that Ben Malla live, and they were watching it just like a lot of Americans do. At Ben Malla. That's when Ben Malla. I think I first. That's when I first got into him. Was right when Donald when he seceded and Joe Biden came into office. Was when that Ben Malla was huge for me. And that's when it was huge for a lot of people. But he's still going. I see him pop up all the time. New ones all the time, multi-million-dollar rentals. He's still maintaining. I will commend him. He's very good at his maintenance. I believed him from the get-go when I first seen him. I said, this guy's, well, everybody knows him as a hardcore landlord sort of real estate guy, but he actually takes care of business. I wish he was my landlord. If I didn't have the landlord I had now, it'd be Ben Mall. I mean, he's great. But my mom would like to go to this John's Pass or whatever, but I'm more like less these subsidized. A lot of people are looking to get in the a lot of the people are looking to get in these subsidized, and Ben Mall works with the subsidization programs too. He's got Section 8 apartments, I believe, in his catalog. You'd have to go through the lines to find it. I'm not sure if they have a website that lists all their properties and all that for rental. That'd be a good idea. Like they have this Ask Ben and all that, but another website could be like benmallerrealestate.com or something. You go to it, you can see, oh, he's got, because everybody's wondering where are these properties, how do you get in them? Like there's people in all over the world and they got $2,000 or $4,000 to make their down payment and get in the property. They just don't know what properties Ben Mull and Vince and everyone has for sale. So if they had a website, oh, they got this subsidized housing units. They have this, they have that. Oh, you can apply here, you can apply online and all that. I'm sure that would be a good business. Equity management online. Mr. Benjamin Mall, the managing member of Equity Management, has had extensive experience throughout his 25-year career in the ownership, rehabilitation, and operation of retail, hotel, and multifamily properties, having rehabilitated, owned, and operated over 100 such properties. Mr. Mallah has vast experience and a proven track record in managing and rehabilitating retail, hotel, and multifamily properties, including properties located in high-density urban and tourism corridors within the Tampa Bay area and throughout South Florida. Mr. Mallah and Equity Management each have a long history of working alongside governmental and quasi-governmental bodies in successfully rehabilitating distressed properties throughout the state of Florida. Mr. Mallah and Equity Management have completed projects under the auspices of the City of Clearwater, City of Naples, City of Tampa, City of Fort Myers, City of Deerfield Beach, City of Cape Coral, Collier County Housing Finance Authority, Collier County Board of County Commissioners, Housing Finance Authority of Broward County, Florida Housing Finance Corporation, and the Department of Housing and Urban Development. I think I heard that one before. Then he's got this one. It's like a celebrity one. When did you first hear about Ben Mallah? When did he first get famous for this whole? Everybody knows him in Tampa. You watch the show. It's Ben Mallah and all that. He began working at a young age, working as a messenger at Wolf Street at 14. Then doing some work until 17, office work. When he was selected to join the Army, I never knew that. Mallah served in the Army for 3 years before being transferred to Oakland, California. At the time, he was 22 years old and doing a few other jobs around the place where he lived on weekends to earn extra money. When his landlord noticed his good work and put him in charge of that building, and later all of them that the landlord owned. After being in charge of the properties, he learned how to manage them. Later, he left the Army and joined Wilton's Marwill Investments, where they operated, bought, and sold parcels and split the profits. When he wanted to buy a peaceful place to raise his family, he began looking at properties throughout California. He started looking at Florida. Because he was from New York, I heard that's where they were originally from. He showed his mom on the one episode. And she was from, they went up to New York. Mallah's first investment was a $9 million building that he flipped for a $12 million profit. Mallah, a successful businessman, took advantage of the recession by purchasing properties at low prices and selling them at a profit when the market was right in 2012. He sold properties worth $70 million and used the proceeds to invest in hotels. He had a really good business plan. I've came to conclude where he got the loans to get that first, and then he made 3 or 4 million off the first, and then he's a millionaire, and then that's his new business. He's flipping properties. Mallah has built an empire, and his sons are a part of it. They also invested in the hospitality industry, owning 7 hotels, and they do a great job of the hotels. That's what the videos are about, sort of their renovations, upkeeps, and their maintenance of the hotels, and also there's some of the numbers and whatnot, the flashy sides to it, including the Sheraton Tampa Suites Airport West Shore and commercial and residential properties. Mallah also hustles cars, which of one appeared in the film Batman Returns as the 1982 to 1989 era Batman. Achievements and awards. He was the owner of a successful real estate company. He also has a YouTube series called The Concrete Life of Sale. One of the cars he purchased was featured in Batman Returns. I don't know about the Batman Returns one, but I know he's famous for his Rolls Royce Phantom and something about the Bentleys and all that. And then he flies private jet. He owns a percentage of this private jet. His residential home is really nice. I know that. Ben rose to prominence in the real estate industry by flipping run-down hotels, houses, and businesses. He is also very active on social media, particularly YouTube, where he has that life for sale. I was going to say on social media, I'd say on Instagram too. He's big on Instagram. He posts, you can see all his individual little meals and stuff sometimes. He doesn't post on YouTube. He goes up and you can watch him. He's partying over here and they go everywhere. He doesn't just, he's not just some crab that sits in his house. He actually goes places too. Ben Mallah is married with 3 children and prioritizes spending time with them. On weekends, he flies them around Florida and the Caribbean, renting an expensive yacht for them to enjoy. His kids are pretty old. Well, they're getting older. I know the one's pretty young though, but yeah, they do a good job. They're one of the families that I envy on how well. The only thing I can be is I can sort of look up to be a man, sort of like a Mallah, or maybe even like as one of his sons or something. But I may never even be like one of his sons. They're an amazing family, that Mallah family. Like, wow. But that's all I can say is you could envy them and you could look up to them. And they have a great life. They have a great life. But at the same time, every day's a new day. What are they going to do next? We love seeing them do even anything. Mallah's net worth is estimated to be $250 million as of July 2022. But hey, I know a guy that has a lot of money too. But what are some ideas that you want to see him spend the money on? Some of his money on. You got to give him some ideas, or help him out. I don't know. Because money's only a number. I know this one guy, he's got all this money, he doesn't got nothing. He doesn't even have a nice car. He doesn't even have a nice car or anything. And he's got millions. So, I don't know. Sleep's good too. His unfortunate stems from the profitable flipping of houses, stores, and hotels. Yeah, he plays that. He doesn't play it. He's a really good landlord. Mallah began his business by purchasing a rundown house for $27,000 and flipping it for $100,000. His estate is worth $200 million, and he employs over 500 people. Not just his sons. You forget, because you see Vince deal with the guy at the counter and all that, but there's all types of people. All the people you see, those are on Ben Mallah's payroll. Like Ben Mallah goes home and issues the payments and all that, and like he's got like 500 plus people on payroll and all that, even more. He's got a lot of people. This guy's huge. But can you believe it? Look where he came from, Rockaway, Queens. That's a famous neighborhood, this Rockaway, Queens. I met a guy from Rockaway, Queens. His name was Bugs Baguettes. We had him come all the way to Canada. My brother paid him $3,000 or something. Hey, I got nothing but good things to say about him. At the time, me and my brother fell for him because he had this song with Wiz Khalifa. So we fell for him. We were like, I don't know how much money he paid him, but we did a video with him and everything. And he was from Far Rockaway, Queens. So I would have never been able to even know Far Rockaway if I didn't meet that guy.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. Young Khalifa man, Taylor gang, paper planes, Bugs Baguettes, rock stars and we drop cars. Yeah, you already know what it is, man. Jet set, now where haven't we been yet? Taylor gangs, they rolling up them paper planes. Fuck boys, they wondering if we making change, and we is. been chillin'. Planes came to take over the building. Say, Wizzle, you a fool. You stay coolin' with other niggas, women. Couple hoes in my hotel room playing pool, taking their clothes off. Your best friend don't know about the rules, so tell her you miss one, you strip hunt. I roll some more bomb trees, pick a victim. iPod playing Summer Breeze, bitch, please. See the Taylor gang and chicks freeze. Champagne and bomb-ass weed is all I did. We proceed to my crib, fascinated by the amount of smoking how I live. Tell her bring a friend, and we could do some things that probably never meet again. But me, I'd rather call you anytime I'm in your town. Stay at your crib, yelling cause she pissed at me, putting my ashes out everywhere, eating up your shit.
But we getting paper,
That's it.
now the bitches watch me like I'm their favorite show. We spend it without a care, that's the way we know. Now they running up, screaming my name everywhere we go. Champagne party, smoking at your crib. We just cool, kick it, listen to dope shit. We spend it without a care, that's the way we know. Now they running up, screaming my name everywhere we go.
Paparazzi snapping, hey, where we show face, lights, cameras, action, looking like a showcase out in St. Catharines, looking for a snowflake, waking up in the morning, the kush getting so big. I'm no fake, I'm still the same. Shout out to JTF and what up, Taylor Gang. And by the way, money is my middle name. I'm sky high, baby, cause we flying in a plane. Counting so much that I'm getting paper cuts. Me and Wizzle about to roll another paper up. And they say you gotta pay like you weigh, so if she wanna play, shorty gotta get her paper up. I'm going in for the young spitters I inspire. Been doing this, been stunting and been flyer. Black and red snapback by Spitfire. I'm floating, I don't think I could get higher.
It's a way but we getting paper though. Now the bitches watch me like I'm their favorite show. We spend it without a care, that's the way we know. Now they running up, screaming my name everywhere we go. Champagne party, smoking at your crib. We just cool, kick it, listen to dope shit. We spend it without a care, that's the way we know. Now they running up, screaming my name everywhere we go.
Rockaway, Queens, Far Rockaway. It does look Far Rockaway. Now I get it. I think it's sort of like right there on the rocks, far away, like almost outside of New York, but going the opposite way. Like it's hanging right off the water. There's nowhere to run to. It's right there. Like you're stuck on Far Rockaway or something. Like it is freaking out there, but there's only two bridges right here, and then there's a way to get here when you're out on Far Rockaway. I had no idea. And then there is buildings there. I know that. They had that. That's where that Bug Spaghetti is from, some buildings in Far Rockaway. So there's a lot to learn about it, but it's not just buildings we see. There's also the Rockaways, which is where sunbathers and surfers flock. Rockaway Beach. That's a cool area, Rockaway Beach, you're right there. That's kind of what I thought it would have been. It reminds me of the only place I've been to that could be a comparative is down in Florida, something called like a Fort Myers Beach or Sanibel Beach or whatever and all that, where you go to a separate area. But this one's all the way up in New York, which is something Tom never got to experience, but I can see it here on the map. And it looks cool. You can go all the way down to Breezy Point, Rockaway Point. There's a big park at the end of it, or forestry and all that. Then there's a lot of green in the middle, and probably all different kind of stuff. Margie's restaurants on Rockaway Beach. This is where Ben Mall is originally from. I don't know if he went to Rockaway Beach. Maybe he did. He came across as this guy that must have gone to Atlantic Beach, Anchor Estate, East Atlantic Beach, Silver Point. Anyways, Big Hassock. Anyways, there's that John F. Kennedy International Airport. I've heard of that one. Very rarely do I hear about that John F. Kennedy International. It's there in New York, just north of Far Rockaway. The JFK Expressway. And I always stood by that story, what ended up happening, unfortunately, to that man. He was a great person, that John F. Kennedy. He was a great president. He was a great president. What? Luke Bell? Oh, I thought it was Luke Combs for a minute. Luke Bell. He's passed away at 32 years old. He went missing in Arizona. Where's that?
Authorities also told the publication that a cause of death remains unknown at this time as the investigation continues. According to Saving Country Music, Bell was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and recently his mental state took a turn for the worse. In 2014, Bell, a Wyoming native, had gained notoriety after releasing his debut album, Don't Mind If I Do.
Hey, mister in the mirror, where's my friend?
According to The Boot, 2 years later, he signed a record deal with 30 Tigers and released his self-titled album. The publication also reported that Bell had collaborated with Alabama Shakes and Langhorne Slim, along with having played for Willie Nelson and Dwight Yoakam. In a 2016 interview with the outlet, Bell opened up about life on the road, saying, quote, "To be honest, I live in the day and I count smiles. That's it. Listen, half the time I end up drinking beer with my neighbors." He continued, "Life's not that bad. The downside, in some ways, is I don't have a wife and kids, but at the same time, it's pretty ideal right now. I just travel around to other cities and hang out with other people." Bell also shared that his goal was to have high hopes and low expectations and have a good time.
This motherfucker. That's fucking nuts, dude. What the fuck? Holy shit. I'm waiting for this guy to spill and me run over him. I shit you not, this is happening right beside me. I always say I see weird shit. Well, this is some of it. Holy crap, man. What a fucking... Well, he's actually pretty talented. What an idiot.